Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to a new chemistry session. Our new lesson is chemical equation and reaction, word and chemical equation. The objective that you will learn at the end of this video are: define chemical reaction, specify the reactants and the products of a chemical reaction, write the word on the unbalanced chemical equation for a chemical reaction. Before watching the video, you should prepare the chemistry worksheet booklet, pen or pencil, draft papers. Let's recall back physical and chemical changes by presenting the following examples: boiling of water, burning of wood, rusting of metal, breaking of bottle. Which among these are physical changes and which are chemical changes? Pause the video, see if you can figure out. So, boiling of water and breaking of bottle are physical changes, since the identity of the matter doesn't change, while burning of wood and rusting of metal are chemical changes, since the identity of the matter changes and a new substance is produced. Let's now focus more on chemical changes. Chemical change is accomplished by a process called chemical reaction. Hence, any chemical reaction leads to a chemical change. So what is chemical reaction? Chemical reaction is a process in which starting substances react with each other to form a new substance or substances. What are the parts of chemical reaction? When we make the substance in the flask with the substance in a test tube, these were the reactants, and a chemical reaction occurred. When a chemical reaction occurs, new substances are formed that weren't there before. These new substances are called the products. So, chemical reaction is made up of reactants and products. What do reactants and products mean? Reactants are the starting substances that react with each other, while products are the new substances that formed or produced at the end of the reaction. To understand more, let's solve the following example. Methane CH4 reacts with oxygen gas to produce carbon dioxide and water. Indicate the reactants and the products of the above chemical reaction. Pause the video to solve the question alone, then follow me. So, as we said before, reactants are the starting substances that react with each other. And according to the above reaction, methane reacts with oxygen gas. So the reactants of this reaction are methane and oxygen gas. Let's now move to the products. Products are the new substances formed or produced. Also referring to the above reaction, carbon dioxide and water are produced. So the products of this reaction are carbon dioxide and water. Observe the following experiment, then answer the questions in worksheet 16, page 34. Reaction between calcium carbonate and hydrochloric acid. We start out with white calcium carbonate and add a solution of hydrochloric acid. The calcium carbonate and hydrochloric acid react rapidly to form carbon dioxide, water, and calcium chloride. Now, let's solve question number 1. What is the evidence that proves the occurrence of a chemical change, formation of bubble or release of gas? Write a sentence that describes the above reaction using the terms react with, to produce, and and. In order to do this, we should identify the reactants and the products of this reaction. According to the experiment, what are the reactants of this reaction? Calcium carbonate and hydrochloric acid. What are the products of this reaction? Calcium chloride, carbon dioxide, and water. So the sentence will be: calcium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid to produce calcium chloride, water, and carbon dioxide. Usually, the chemical reaction is represented by an equation. But how to write this equation? First, you should write the reactants on the left side and the products on the right side. Then, you should replace the term react with and with positive symbol, while the term to produce with arrow symbol. According to these steps, the general form of the equation will be reactant 1 plus reactant 2 produce product 1 plus product 2. This equation can be expressed by using the words or the names of the reactants and the products, and in this case, it's called the word chemical equation. Also, it can be expressed by using the symbols and the formulas of the reactants and the products, and in this case, it's called the chemical equation. Now, let's solve the question number 3. Write a word equation by replacing the terms react with and with a positive and the term to produce with an arrow. By using the sentence in question number 2, the word chemical equation of this reaction will be calcium carbonate plus hydrochloric acid produce calcium chloride plus water plus carbon dioxide. Write the chemical equation unbalanced of the reaction by replacing the names of reactants and the products with their chemical formula. To write the chemical equation of this reaction, calcium carbonate can be represented as CaCO3, hydrochloric acid can be represented as HCl, calcium chloride as CaCl2, water as H2O, and carbon dioxide as CO2. Now, let's solve more examples. Example 1. Sodium reacts with the chlorine gas Cl2 to produce sodium chloride. Write the word chemical equation on the unbalanced chemical equation of this reaction. Pause the video to solve the question alone, and while doing that, don't forget to use the following notes. So, the word equation of this reaction is sodium plus chlorine gas produce sodium chloride. To write the unbalanced chemical equation of this reaction, sodium can be represented by Na, chlorine gas by Cl2, and sodium chloride by NaCl. Don't forget that the formula of NaCl can be obtained by using the crisscross method. Now, let's move to solve example 2 about rusting of iron. Iron reacts with oxygen gas in the air in the presence of moisture to produce iron oxide or rust. Indicate the reactants and the product of the above chemical reaction. Pause the video to solve the question alone, then follow me. Iron reacts with oxygen gas, so the reactants of this reaction are iron and oxygen gas. After they react with each other, they produce iron oxide or rust, so the product of this reaction is iron oxide or rust. Write the word chemical equation of this reaction and write the unbalanced chemical equation of this reaction. Pause the video to solve the questions alone. The word equation of this reaction is iron plus oxygen gas produce iron oxide or rust. The unbalanced chemical equation of this reaction is Fe plus O2 produce Fe2O3, where iron can be represented as Fe, oxygen gas as O2, and iron oxide as Fe2O3. Don't forget that Fe2O3 formula can be obtained by using the crisscross method. Let's now move to solve example 3. Consider the following word chemical equation. Zinc plus hydrochloric acid produce zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas. Write the unbalanced chemical equation of this reaction. Deduce the reactants and the products of the above chemical reaction. Pause the video to solve the questions alone, then follow me. The unbalanced chemical equation of this reaction is Zn plus HCl produce ZnCl2 plus H2. HCl and ZnCl2 formula are obtained by using the crisscross method. Now let's move to the reactants and the products of this chemical reaction. The reactants of this reaction are zinc and hydrochloric acid, while the products of this reaction are zinc chloride and hydrogen gas. As a summary, reactants are the substances that present at the start of the reaction, while products are the substances that formed at the end of the reaction. Chemical reaction can be expressed as a word equation or chemical equation. Word equation by using the names of the reactants and the products, and chemical equation by using the symbols and the formulas of the reactants and the products.